Check. Hi friends, welcome in. It is Monday again, and I am Julie Maxon, the Maine Stamper. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I'm here for your weekly card class from Maine. I'm only a couple minutes late tonight, which is pretty good for me. So appreciate you coming on and checking out this live class and letting me know that you can see and hear me. And I'm going to talk about this again for another minute because I know that it takes a few minutes for everyone to be able to know that I'm live on Facebook. So welcome in. We are going to be doing the Scenic Adventure class tonight. I think I have everything hooked up and ready to go. I may have to stop for a sip of water. I've been running a little bit just to get ready for this class. So we're doing Scenic Adventure. It is a really awesome bundle, stamp set and dies. And the dies have surprised me. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for letting me know that we're all good. The dies really surprised me. And actually, this set intimidated me a little bit when I first saw it. Now, first of all, I love pine trees. So if you like trees, if you like nature, you're going to love this bundle. I love anything with a pine tree in it. I'm probably going to buy it. So I did. I bought it, right? Hi, Lynn. It's great to see you from New Jersey. So this is an interesting set because when I started playing with the dies, I realized, first of all, none of the dies will die cut a stamped image. There is no outline die for this set, right? So first of all, we're a little bit thrown off by the fact that we can't just stamp and die cut something and put it on a card and call it good. We actually have to work a little bit. And I was intimidated going into it, but once I started going, I fell in love with this set like way more than I expected. And that's always a pleasant surprise when I can come on and say, wasn't sure about this one, but now I really like it. Now it's my job to show you how that you can use these products and you can fall in love with them too. Hi, Janice. Welcome to our class. I'm so glad to have you on here. All right, so now that I know that a couple of you guys can see and hear me, this is so exciting. We're going to get over to our workspace and we're going to start talking about this really great class. Now, no surprise, there will not be a lot of stamping tonight because, again, we're not stamping and die cutting images. The dies in the Scenic Adventure Bundle are really standalone dies. If you only chose one thing from this bundle, I would say get the dies. The dies are really versatile. I'm going to show you. You're going to love them. The stamp set's great because it goes with it, but it's not something that maybe you necessarily need. And I normally don't come on and just, tell you these things like don't buy it, but I'm letting you know the dies are to die for. Just gonna go with that. All right, let's pop over to my workspace. Please continue to say hi as you jump on. I love to know that you guys can still see and hear me. Hi, Julie. Hi, Lori. Hi, Patty. Oh my gosh, I've got a few of you jumped on over here while I was busy. All right, Scenic Adventure. Before we start talking about this really cool bundle, let's talk about the really cool ordering that's going on for my Sweet Summer Send-Off celebration. So all through the month of August with your $50 orders in my online store, you're getting a raffle ticket. And one lucky person is going to get a $100 shopping spree in my online store. I've got stuff in here. Now, this is last week's tickets from, well, I should say 2 weeks ago. These are last week's tickets. These are my friends that ordered with me for the More Sunflower Messages card class. So Carol gets a ticket, Janice gets a ticket, Julie gets a ticket. This was a birthday girl ticket. Leslie gets a ticket, Cheryl gets a ticket, Judy gets a ticket, and Sandra's getting 2 tickets. So remember, every $50 increment that you spend in product before shipping and tax and all that stuff, you go in the bucket here. So there's still time. This is going to run through the 31st. You basically have about 2 more weeks to get yourself into this entry. I might need to grab out a smaller basket because there's hardly any tickets in here. It's going to be really easy for you to win a shopping spree. So I'm really excited about that. I have lots of tickets here, so please feel free to ask me questions if you're not really sure what that is all about. Okay, now we're going to just remind you one more time. $100 shopping spree, fake money, real shopping. That's what I'm advertising. Scenic Adventure. Okay, this one. In color products, still on sale all month long. If this is the first time you're hearing this, I want you to know about it, right? So anything that has an in color in it of the 25, 27 in colors, we're talking Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger. If any of those colors appear in any product whatsoever, even the teeny tiny little bit of designer series paper, that whole pack of paper is on sale, 15% off. Loving the designer series paper part of this, so make sure you're checking that out. Now, if you're in my in color club, you're getting products with in colors. You might want to check out those those sale items as well, so you can get even more things that are going to go with your in colors. Super exciting. Scenic Adventure Card Class. Every week I do an order special, $50. You're getting the 4 card kits with envelopes. 4 card kits. What are they looking like today? Let me grab out the card kits. I'm pushing aside the actual physical cards because I like them to be a surprise. So these are the 4 card kits. You're getting some ribbon, you're getting some die cut pieces, there's lots of things in these card kits, and you can certainly take these kits and add in other items other than the featured items. So these are great kits for you to play with at home, get creative. There's some die cutting and some fun already ready for you to go. Makes it super easy. You're also going to earn 10% in Stampin' Rewards. This is Stampin' Up's reward program. Those rewards are good on a future order. And you're getting a raffle ticket for the $100 shopping spree that you want to win. So you can spend it in September and get all the new stuff in all the new catalogs. So here we go. This Scenic Adventure card class is good this week. It ends on Friday. The Scenic Adventure Bundle is item 165468. It's only $49.50. That's pretty nice when most of the bundles are over $50. This one's just under $50, and this is what the Scenic Adventure Bundle is all about. Now, if you just missed the beginning, I really said how much I love, absolutely adore these dies. They are really cool dies, and there are 11 of them in here. I put them on a magnet sheet so that they're easier for me to work with. And I don't keep them in the stamp case. I know some of you open them up and put them right in here. I keep thinking about that. I'm so on the fence about that. All right, so here's a few of the stamps that I did not mount up. So you can see here, there's 4 left in here. We're going to be stamping with quite a few of them tonight, and I wanted to let you know that the images here are at 80%. So this, you are amazing. First of all, you're amazing. You guys are all amazing. That's what I'm going to say right now. This is the you're amazing. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me try to put this like right here for the idea of the scope of how big is you're amazing. You're so bigly amazing. This is the you're amazing. So it's way bigger than what's on the case. So sometimes when we look at the case, they are true to size for the stamps inside. So we kind of have an idea of what die cut might fit on there. However, in this case, the stamps are actually quite a little, they're 20% bigger than what you see here. That's real craft math, you guys. In case you were like wondering, I did craft math. 80% images means 20% bigger stamps. Look at that. My mom would be so proud. All right, so here's the dies. And this is where I got a little bit like, whoa, wait a minute, how am I going to do this? So when you die cut all of these dies right here on this sheet, this is what you get. And the only ones that actually die cut out, trying to find my little container here, with the only ones that actually have an image, is the pine trees. So you can see that it's a detailed pine tree. It does not cut around. Actually, I kind of wish that we had dies that would cut out those pine trees after you stamp them, because that's my favorite thing to do, is pine trees. Okay, so you're getting these. These are 2 kind of hooked together. Then you're getting a teeny tiny one, like a little pencil pine tree. We're going to call that a pencil pine tree. You're also getting, and I know this isn't green, but I did everything on one sheet. This is crossed logs for a bonfire, or a, what would you call those? I call them bonfires. I'm not sure if anyone else, campfire? Maybe a campfire? Okay, I'm going to read your comments later, and you're going to say so many smart things that I'm going to feel really unintelligent right now. And here's your flames, also in green, also shown in garden green. So you can actually do a cute little camping, right? If you're a camper, if you like the camper, if you have the RV set that was out, I think a year ago, this was kind of a great addition. If you have things in your stash that you're using because you love the outdoors, you love scenic nature, this is just going to go with. This is just kind of go with items. So we already talked about how amazing you guys all are. So you're amazings here. Can't wait to see you again. Oh, I love when you're here. Let the, and then you could put journey begin in the middle here. So let the begin is 1 stamp. I don't know if I mounted that one up. I don't think I did. I'm not playing with that one tonight, but it is 1 stamp. Let the begin. Journey and adventure can go in the middle. So you can say let the journey begin, let the adventure begin. Just breathe and take it slow. That's a good one. That's 1 stamp. And cheers to another. Now this goes with cheers to another journey, cheers to another adventure. So you can kind of see that they go together. You've got some water. You've got clouds or mountains. You've got 3 pine trees. You've got some little flowers here too. There's a lot of great things in here, but I really like the dies. Now, these are all the dies that do not pop out necessarily, like easily. So there's this little row of flowers right here. Hopefully you can see, like they kind of pop forward. So there's little flowers. There's this great row of pine trees. There's this big mountain right here. There's a nice long mountain right here. There's a grassy area right here, and then the water feature down here. Hopefully you can see it. So it pierces the paper, but it doesn't cut them out specifically. What does cut out specifically is the moon behind this really cool stars, so the paper gets poked in a star formation, and then the little moon will come out, and then the double pine tree and the skinny and the campfire, as we discussed earlier. So that is a little bit like, oh man, what are we going to do with all of these products and these things, and how are they going to work, right? So I'm going to start with something that I don't actually have done yet in front of me right now, because what happened was I needed a quick thank you card over the weekend, and I used this set. It was so awesome because I was able to do a really quick card. I'm going to show you the stamping that I did, and then I'm going to recreate the card later on. It's not part of the card kits, but I wanted to share with you how I did this. And I'm using the kind of the Cloud Mountain-y stamp, and then the bigger tree, and then the smaller tree. And I made a really beautiful card. I'm going to, again, recreate it. I'm going to share that recipe on my newsletter on Thursday. So make sure you're opening my newsletter at least on Thursdays. When you see the newsletter on Thursday, that's the good one. That's got the good stuff in it. All right, so I'm just going to do Azure Afternoon. This is a stylish shape circle die cut. And I've got my little like cloudy, mountainy, and I kind of stamped that a couple of times. And I stamped off once here or there because I kind of wanted like a little bit of like in the distance. So we've got kind of some mixed things going on here, right? And right now it looks like it's a mess. It looks like I didn't even do this right, but that's not really where I'm going with it. I'm going to bring in Mossy Meadow next. Let's check out the pine trees. Now, the reason I'm doing this too is because I didn't do a lot of stamping for tonight's class. I really focused on the dies. And I just had to share with you how gorgeous this pine tree is. If you missed the beginning, I love pine trees. I'm going to stamp another one there. I'm going to stamp one off, and I'm going to do some stamp off trees here too. So I'm going to do a little mix of trees on and off. You're going to see them at different heights here. I think we need one maybe right here too. Let's put one right there. Now we're going to bring in the little tree, and we're going to do some fillers. So that guy can go there. I think I want one here. Oh, that didn't work out well, but that's okay because we're doing Oh, I like it already. I love it. Okay, probably should have done a stamp off there. So stamp off and on. We're filling in the whole bottom of our semicircle here with green. Isn't that fantastic? Like, I love it already so much. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to bring in, since we've got green out right now, and again, this is Mossy Meadow. I'm just going to bring in a little bit of green, and we're just going to shade this. We're not trying to cover up our pine trees necessarily, but we want a little bit of green behind the trees so it doesn't look white, right? So that we've got a little bit more forest. So you can see the green that's kind of filled in here, and it just looks really natural and pretty. Doesn't matter that the blue is still on there. We're going to work with that next. So Azure Afternoon is going to come in with, you guessed it, another brush. So we're just going to get some ink on here, and we're just going to kind of start in the middle of the mountains here, and we're just going to kind of, or the clouds, whatever you want to call this, right? And I'm going to do kind of darker there in the center, and then I'm going to just maybe very lightly head toward the top. And I still want it to be a little bit white. I don't want to try to get rid of all of the white, but this is where I'm going with this. Now, this is going to be finished up with a bunch more things and put on a card, and it's going to be really pretty. But I wanted to share with you that you can create something gorgeous with these stamps, because I designed this class, and I love this class coming up. If you like die cutting, if you like putting papers together, you're going to love this too, because I really focused on the sentiments and the die cuts, and I'm pretty sure I didn't stamp any of the trees and the things. So, so then I got done designing 4 cards. I was having fun. By the way, if I haven't mentioned yet, this was a really fun bundle to work with today. So I had so much fun putting things together, and then another thing and another thing, and I had 4 cards done, and I looked at my cards and I went, oh my gosh, I barely stamped anything. Like, craziness, right? So I wanted to share with you that you can stamp and create some really beautiful background images. Now, of course, there's the water feature, there's flowers, there's lots of other things that you can do with this as well. This will be on a card that you're going to see when you open your Thursday email newsletter from me. You'll have a free recipe, so make sure you're checking that out. All right, now that we're a little inky, we're just going to stick with glue. And that was pun intended, sticking with glue. Hi, Pat. Barbara's here too. And Flo, I'm just checking in real quick to see who's joined me. Hi, Michelle. I always feel bad when I see that later on. I see, oh, they jumped on, and I didn't see them say hi to me, and I felt bad because I didn't get a chance to say hi to you back. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start with this card right here. Let's check out what's in card kit number 1. Lots of good stuff. Now, I like to play with a lot of different colors and papers. I like to pretend that my kits are super unique. I think they kind of are. I hope they are. I hope you watch these and go, wow, I didn't even think about that. This is some of the gray, I think it's gray granite baker's twine in the Baker's Essential Pack. So you're getting a bunch of this. We're gonna set that aside. You've got garden green, gorgeous grape. This is smoky slate. This is Azure Afternoon. I embossed this piece with the Soft Waves embossing folder. You're getting a die cut white cardstock piece with the textured notes dies. This is like really my go-to dies. I love the textured notes. So you're getting these pieces already done up for you. You're getting a piece of DSP. This is from the Nested Birds, Nested Winter. I wrote it down. It's the Nested. So DSP, this is two-tone cardstock in Secret C, so you can see the two colors there. Our card base is Azure Afternoon, and you've got a white strip here for your sentiment piece. Now let's put all of these together and see where we're going to go with this. But before we do anything, we need to probably look at the sample, because if I don't look at the sample, I'm going to start putting stuff together, and then, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget what I'm doing, right? Okay, so here we go. Can't wait to see you again. Check out the majesty of the Purple Mountains. Aren't they gorgeous? Now, I have to say, this was on my desk this morning because I think that's when I started working on this class. Seriously. Okay, so I didn't have the purple mixed in yet, and my husband Frank walked in just to see what I was up to, and he saw this card and he goes, wow, that's pretty. And he is not one to like give me compliments on my cards. I did mix in the purple. I don't know how he feels about purple in the card, but at the time he said to me, is that Mount Katahdin? Because that is our mountain in Maine. And I said, yes, this will now henceforth be called the Mount Katahdin card. Now, if you have a mountain in your area where you live, you can call it whatever mountain card you like. But we're going to start with our card base, and we're doing a horizontal card. So make sure you've got it in the appropriate position, right? So it's going to open from the bottom to the top, if you can make that work. And we're going to bring in the water. This is the water stamp. For this particular card, we're going to be using a few colors here. Let me grab them all out. Secret C, Gorgeous Grape. My Gorgeous Grape is very faded, so this is Gorgeous Grape. Azure Afternoon and Garden Green. So these are the colors for this card. And we're going to start with Azure Afternoon and water. So we're adding water, but it's not really a water feature. It's more conceptual art right here on the side. I like to do this with some of the background stamps. First of all, because I feel like everyone should be stamping, right? I don't want to just, die cut everything, put it on a card and say, here you go, guys, do this. I mean, we do like to get inky, right? So I'm going to use the water, which almost looks kind of like wood tone to me, right? And we're just going to do some back and forth. I'm kind of zigzagging here a little bit. Nothing needs to be perfect by any means, right? So some of these are going off, some of these are short, some of them are spaced not even like evenly. But we're going to kind of catch the side of our card base, and we're adding the water in, but really it's not water. It's just tone on tone to create something a little bit appealing here, because I've put everything on this card over to the left, and then I centered the focal piece. So I like to offset the balance of the card with something else that your eye can look at when you're checking it out. All right, so I think I inked overly with this one, and I don't believe I need this one anymore. Let me find a safe spot to put it. If I can. Okay, let us do some super easy assembly before we do our die cutting. So we're going to choose at home which side of Secret C two-tone cardstock you like up. Now you can see this is the lighter side. It almost looks like a dark gray, and I really like that with this kind of birchwood paper. Now if you wanted to do the darker, it looks a little bit more black, And you could definitely do that. Hopefully you can see the difference on the camera. There's a darker and then there's the lighter. So because I like to switch things up on occasion, and just also, you know, that way you can check it out later on and go, yeah, no, I prefer that one. We're definitely putting the Pussy Willow print down. We don't want that one up. It just doesn't quite go with the concept of this particular card, but you never know, right? All right, so we're just putting these together, and then this layer is going to go right onto our card base. Adhesive of choice, we're going to put it over here, again, toward the left. And I try to mat top the far left side and then the bottom as well. So there we go. That is super easy, right? I'm pretty sure you guys all at home are like, well, yeah, I can do that, no problem. We're going to decide if you want embossed or debossed facing up from your Soft Waves embossing folder. This is going right into this frame right here. This is the, I'm deciding here as I'm talking to you. Yep, I'm going to do debossed side up. I've been going debossed lately. I don't know, like, maybe it's a fad that I'm going through a debossing fad. So we're going to put this on here, and the textured notes frames, these rectangles, I love them. Like, I use them all the time. I want you to think of this as a picture frame. So we're building, we build art on our cards all the time, right? This is our art right here. So we need to do a little die cutting together, my friends, because I didn't have time to die cut all these things. So we're going to just do this so that you can see exactly what gets put through the die cutter and then what it looks like when it comes out the other end. So let's bring in die cutting machine. We've got Smoky Slate, Garden Green, and Gorgeous Grape, and I've just got to find the dies that we need. So we're going to use the big mountain, okay? So that's going to go on there. It's going to be longer than your cardstock, but that's okay. We only need so much mountain, right? We've got the double tree die for our Garden Green, and then we've got this kind of like the mountain cap here for the Gorgeous Grape. So put that toward the top of your cardstock, one of the longer edges. Hopefully you can see that. If not, you're going to see it when it comes out the other end. So here we go. We're going to die cut for our card. And again, this is a die cut heavy class. So I hope you like die cutting. Raise your hand if you like to die cut. Now when you're done, you can see here, because we went on a piece of paper that was shorter than our die, we were able to hit the end. So this is what the mountain would look like. If you had a big piece of paper and didn't get all the way to the ends, it won't die cut out. But if you have a shorter paper, you do get to die cut the top of that. So the top will come off if you have a shorter paper. So there's our mountain. Here is our pine trees. Let me get rid of our scrappies. And then of course over here on the back of my plate here is the top of our Purple Mountain Majesty right here. So there we have all our pieces just like that. Super easy. Let me get these pushed aside. Throw away my scraps, don't throw away the dies. Does anyone say that at home? Throw away the scraps, don't throw away the dies. It happens. We just have things in our hands and we're moving around and all of a sudden you're like, where did that die go? Why is it in my garbage can? Okay, so now we have our pieces and now we're gonna do a little bit of inking because you guys know I love to ink, right? I am a fan of the ink. So let's bring in, again, our scrappies, and we're gonna do on the mountains, mountains in Gorgeous Grape. And you may be thinking, wait, what? No, we're doing all of the mountains in Gorgeous Grape. We're adding a little bit of purple even to our gray mountain. Now, if you prefer to grab out your Smoky Slate, Gray Granite, pick a gray, right? Basic gray, go for it, absolutely. But I thought it would be kind of more interesting if we had a little bit of purple on here. Like, I think you guys like purple, right? We're going to go ahead and do the purple one in purple too. Like, that makes sense, I hope, right? So we're going to make this beautiful. And here's just kind of a peek of how our mountains play into play, right? It's just really pretty. Easy peasy. Okay, now we're going to put this away and we're going to bring in our trees, Garden Green. And I'm not poking out these little bits in here. I'm not worried about that. I think it adds a little bit of interest that they're there. I like that they're there. Here is my Garden Green blending brush. I'm going to kind of brush away and just add, kind of focusing on the edges here. Now, if you prefer a dauber, absolutely. And what I like to do when I'm trying to just add some tone to this, hopefully my camera will pick some of this up, I want to leave some of it where it's a little bit lighter and just kind of heavily ink certain spots. And it just has way more interest that way if you do that. And that's it. That's our die cutting and sponging. Like, this is so easy. I just had so much fun doing it. It just felt effortless. All right, we're going to bring in our little strip of white. We've got Secret Sea, my favorite dark color now for sentiments. This one says, "Can't wait to see you again." So we're going to ink this one up. This is one of those long ones that is such a delicate stamp. I feel like I'm going to squish it into the pad like crazily. All right, now if you, yeah, I see heavy ink on one end. If you stay to the right, you can trim, angle cut this this end over here. So there we go. Can't wait to see you again. I like this. I'm a word nerd. I like the font freak. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, the font on this, does this not look like kindergarten reading type font? I just think it's kind of cool. I'm on purpose leaving this aside so it makes sure it's drying, because I feel like if I touch it right now, yeah, I'm probably going to smear ink. Okay, let's dry fit our Purple Mountain, and then we're going to kind of decide on here where we're going to put our Gray Mountain, which is in the front. I really like that right there, so I'm going to try to remember that. It's going right about there. We're just going to go for it. I mean, they're mountains, right? You can shift a little bit if you need to. All right, so a little bit of adhesive. Keep in mind that there's a lot of kind of slots in here. So if you're too heavy with the glue, it's probably going to pop back out. Now I have this design so it's going to fit within the stitching of your frame really nicely. So keep it to both sides, and then the bottom here, I might have to add a little bit of glue right there. I can see where I die cut, it's kind of popping up. So let's just see if we can't get a teeny tiny bit of glue, maybe not that much. Okay. One of my fingers should be not sticky, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Look at how cute that is. Is that not like a picture frame of art? We're making art. I love it. All right, same thing with the pine trees. These are kind of, they have all these little holes in them. So just be careful putting your trees on. And also, I recommend your trees should come off the page a little bit, right? So you want them to come off just to make it way more fun. Hey, this card's almost done, by the way. This is going to come on here flat, and I did this flat because I'm going to pop up some other things. But here we go. We're going to center this. I just wanted to look at it real quick, make sure I liked it. We're going to put this on here right about so. Hopefully you guys can see all of the cards. I love this one, by the way. I mean, this is the class. This is it. Hope you guys like the class. Just kidding. I liked all of the cards in this class. It's just a really awesome class, I think. All right, we're going to do something a little bit crazy here with our twine. So I'm putting my dimensionals down here, and on purpose. So this is a long strip, so it's going to fit here, and we forgot to trim the end. So let's just angle cut that real quick. Can't wait to see you again. All right, so this is going to come down here. So I'm just lining up some of these dimensionals here, because I know that I should be able to cover all of those with my sentiment piece. And then we're going to pop the tops off of these, and we're going to add our twine, and we're going to kind of wind it around. So some of my friends were mentioning last week that they are not really a fan of making bows, and I totally understand that, because, you know, bows are hard. Like, sometimes bows can be really hard. All right, let's unsquiggle this. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to squiggle some string, right? So we're going to kind of just catch an end here on a dimensional. Let these things kind of, it kind of naturally wants to like spool around in like swirly crazinesses. So no two shall ever be alike, I'm sure. You can catch however many dimensionals you want. I try to keep the ends tucked down in, right? Okay, so there's all of that going on. And now we're going to put this right on top. Now, if you felt like it wasn't going to be sticky enough, you could add a little extra glue in there. I've done that to the top of my dimensionals before. But I know that my other two, like my outside two dimensionals, should easily grab the stick to the sentiment, right? And so you can see it's totally different. And there's a little play with that. If that bothers you, you could, you know, definitely tuck that in with your scissors. Poke some extra string down in, and get a little crazy here. And then there you go, just like that. Can't wait to see you again. I think this is really cool, and I have to say that maybe I like the darker version that I just did live better. I don't know why I do that to myself. You would think that I would make the best version first and then make a version that's maybe not quite as nice. But lighter version, darker version, would love to know. I think the purple pops more with the darker two-tone cardstock, but I love the two-tone cardstock. So there we go. Can't wait to see you again. Card number 1 from our class. I will read your comments later to see which one you are loving. And isn't Azure Afternoon really gorgeous? Yes, Janice, I love it too. It is, it's a color that I don't use very often. So I try to challenge myself. Wait till you see card number 3. It's a color that I barely ever use. I want you to be thinking about that now. The whole time I'm doing card number 2. You're like, wait, what color does she not use? You got to think about this. All right, we have a crumb cake base. We have Secret Sea. This is very masculine. And by the way, in case I haven't mentioned it, if you're looking for something to make masculine cards with, this is it, right? Masculine colors look really good with this card. This bundle, I'm sorry, meant to say bundle. Here we go. Pecan pie with the Forever Plaid embossing folder. Check it out, right? Look how like caramely delicious this looks together. I am loving this. So we've got crumb cake and pecan pie two-tone cardstock coming to you embossed, so you get to decide which side up. We've got some two-tone mossy meadow. We've got, of course, you know, I'm loving also the Forever Plaid, Timeless Plaid DSP. And again, colors that could mix and match. Like, I love to give you card kits that, like, you could take this and make pretty much anything you wanted to. Another Textured Notes die cut, because my favorite. So this is what's in this card kit. Let's take a look at the card. And we're going to put this one together as well, because I didn't die cut ahead anything. And this is it. It's a really simple card. This one has a sentiment from the bundle or the stamp sets that says cheers to another. So I've used this one, and then I said adventure. Cheers to another adventure. Now, you could absolutely put just breathe and take it slow would fit on here really well. You could put happy birthday on here. If you're looking for a masculine birthday card, this would be a great one. You could change this up however you want to, with whatever sentiment you want to. And that's why I said the dies are, to me, the most fabulous part of this entire bundle. All right, we're going to start with our two-tone cardstock because we're going to do a little bit of sponging. Now you have to decide once again which side you want to use. I think I used this side, but I can't remember. So yeah, debossed, embossed. You've got this lighter color here. Maybe I'll leave the lighter color up. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what inks we're using. And we're only using 2 for this one. Let me get the right inks here. Early Espresso. Believe it or not, this is stamped in Early Espresso, not Secret Sea. They kind of make themselves chameleons to one another. But we've got espresso and pecan. So we're going to start with pecan pie, and we are going to bring in our blending brush, and we're going to do all of the outside edges, kind of coming in a little bit. Maybe I'll try to not do it quite as dark this time. I got really heavy-handed with the one that I did earlier, and you know, just you get going sometimes. You can see here how dark it is. It's like waffle cone dark. It's like delicious tasting cardstock. They should make like scented cardstock. I don't know if it would make it out of my craft room. Sometimes I get really hungry while I'm hanging out in here. Anybody else keep snacks in their craft room while they're like on high alert here? Like I have some granola bars in mine, so I do have some. I've found that I can't keep candy in my craft room anymore since I'm trying to stay away from sugar. And if I do have candy in, I eat some and then I take it back downstairs and give it to my husband and say, please take this away from me. So, true story. So here we go. I've used the lighter side. You can see the crumb here with the pecan. Totally, I mean, and if you didn't want to add any ink on there, you could do that as well. But, you know, I feel like ink is completely necessary. It just really adds so much life to any of the papers that you touch with it. It's just, it really draws your eye in. So I love to add a lot of ink, and I feel like it's very flat looking if you're just adding a lot of layers without adding the texture of ink. Really is what we're going for. All right, so now we get to decide dark or light for this piece, and we also get to decide, look at this, green or plaid. Now, I have to go with the blue because I need a little bit of blue in here. I mean, you could, in theory, keep the green here, but I just feel like it would be so boring. Like, I don't know. We're going to have this blue here. I don't know, you guys. I'm trying to convince myself if this is a good idea or not. I don't know. I might have to pause for a minute. You guys let me know. You guys let me know because we're going to do a couple more things. Should I use the green side or the blue side? What would you like to see what the green looks like? That's what I need to know from you. Let me know in the comments if you want to see green or blue. I'm going to give this a minute because we got to die cut some trees here. So I'm going to look and see if I'm seeing anything. Barbara says green. We're going to go green, Barbara. I don't know if anybody else is even going to comment, but Barbara said green, so we're doing it. Thanks, Barbara. Thanks for giving me the confidence to like switch it up. All right, so you've got Secret C right here. We're bringing in, this is the pine tree die, and we're going to put this, again, kind of toward the top. It's going to fit on here. Well, maybe it's going to be the middle. It's all good though, right? As long as it fits on here and doesn't go off the top, you're good. And we're going to go ahead and die cut our row of trees. We will not even need all of this and probably should try to keep it like mostly straight. Mostly straight. I'm doing this at such an odd angle when I'm on camera. Okay, we're good. I got it. Okay, and off we go. Off we go. This is the only die cutting we're doing for this card. And I'm giving you a long strip of this paper. This is Secret C. In case I forgot to mention the secret. It is Secret C. Oh, I love this one. Okay, so here's this fun die, right? And here's what happens when you have it. Now, this should come off. Wherever it's hit the end, it's going to come off. And wherever it hasn't hit the end, you can trim. So there we go. We got a really long. Now, I want to point out, in case you guys are like, wait a minute, it's crooked. What is going on here? They kind of have a little bit of wind blowing on them because they're angled. They're not up and down. They're not straight up and down. Some of them seem to cant a little bit to the side. It's a wind thing. It's like, you guys get it, right? So don't worry if you're like, oh my gosh, it's so crooked, I can't even. All right, so I see Flo says blue, Janice says green, Patty says green, somebody else said blue. You guys are like back and forth. I love it. Jess, of course you want blue. I love blue too. We're going to try green because if we don't like the green, we can always say, but look, there's the pretty blue side, right? Okay, so we're going to do it. So you're going to just choose which side again of the two-tone cardstock. I think I'm going to go like opposites. So I'm going to try the darker green now. Bye, blue. We love you. I love blue. Blue's my fave. Okay, so we're going to put this down on here. I can hear Julie saying, no, why are you using green? I do like green too, of course, right? Pine trees, hello. All right, so this is going to come on our card. Now, this is a little bit different. Instead of centering it, instead of going like to the edge, we're going to the way edge. So hopefully you can see that. Now, there's like a small little bit right here before we hit the way edge. The very edge of the card. So I left the tiniest little piece of crumb cake showing, but I really shifted this way over. And I did this on purpose. So sometimes I get stuck with like adding things to my card fronts consistently, like in a specific manner. And I thought, you know what? Let's push things off to the edges on this one and just like, we're going to check it out and see what it looks like. Let's do our stamping. We've got Cheers to Another. So I just got to find, here's Cheers to Another. We're going to do that in pecan. And the nice thing about this, that it's not just one stamp, is that you can use two different colors. And of course, these are photopolymers, so it's really easy to see where you're stamping. So there's Cheers to Another. May not be straight, but it's beautiful. And then we're going to bring in Adventure. And we're going to do that in the early espresso. So it's kind of nice to not have to like mask something to get two different colors. So Adventure is going to come right about here. Cheers to Another Adventure. There we go. Now I put it at the top specifically because I want my trees to be able to show up on here as well. Okay, so we're going to glue this onto this, and this time I'm going to use this as two-tone Mossy Meadow, in case you're just tuning in or you've forgotten what I'm doing. We're going to put this toward the top, but we're matting it top, left, and right. So it's going to have a bigger section here at the bottom, and that's just so that we can have something for the trees to kind of catch up to, because the trees have to come down quite a bit from Adventure, but also we have to decide where we want our trees to be. Like which section of trees do you like for this? This is longer than you need. So I'm going to probably cut mine. I think I'm going to start right here. I'm going to trim this right there, and then I'm going to glue this on, and then I'm going to trim the other side. So I'm going to turn this upside down, backwards, and I'm going to add just along the trees. I'm not even doing the base because the way that it hits the this piece of cardstock right here, right? We don't, if you did it on the base, it would probably be completely off whatsoever. All right, so I'm bringing in my silicone mat, your best friend when you're working with glue and such like that. And we're gonna I'm just gonna layer this on here. And again, I put the glue on the trees. So I'm focusing on sticking these little trees down, just like this. So coming up into the adventure, the adventure trees. And I'm gonna turn this over from the back. I'm gonna trim this way now. There we go. So it fits the size of our little piece right here. Now, you know, you could probably trim these up and use these on the inside. Like, there's enough going on here. You could probably get a couple of those on the inside if you wanted to, which is kind of cool. I like these little trees. All right, we are almost done with this adventure card. We're going to put this on with some dimensionals. So let me grab those real quick. I may have just bumped my camera. I apologize if it's shaking. My dimensionals are up in front of me, overhead a little bit, and I got excited when I grabbed them out. I don't know. I'm also going to get excited and put like a million of them on here. I got a new sheet out before class. I needed a new sheet. So I was like, whoa. When I have a lot of dimensionals, I use a lot of dimensionals. And then when I don't have a lot of dimensionals, I get really stingy with them. I'm like, wait a minute. There's only a few left. It's kind of like eating a bag of chips, right? When you start out with a bag of chips, you got so many, you could just keep eating them. And then you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm almost out of chips. All right, this is going to come, much like this came way to the right, this one's going to come way to the left. And we're going to put this over here. This green pattern kind of reminds me of like checkerboard or chess or some such thing. And I do like the little bit of lighter pecan on that. I'm already liking the lighter pecan, just so we have that agreed upon. Now I'm going to bring in some bling because this needed a little bit of kind of more masculine bling. This is called Adhesive Back Texture Dots. I have to sort through my bling. I have such a mess in my craft room of bling and ribbon, and I have things everywhere, and whoops. So I just randomly am grabbing stuff, and I'm not even sure sometimes what I'm grabbing. I'm just grabbing and going. But I'm putting these along the bottom here, kind of. I did a big in the center and two smaller ones on the outside because I thought that kind of would look nice. Just like so. It's kind of an old school way to do the embellishments, but sometimes I just like the old school way. All right, my friends, there it is. I need to know, now that you have seen both, are we happy about the green card? Did we do a good job on that one? Michelle likes the blue. Julie likes, oh, you like the green too. That's awesome. Julie says she likes it as well. Michelle, I have to admit, the blue works so beautifully. Probably if I had a different colored tree here, maybe if I had gone Mossy Meadow, this may be more pleasing to our eye. But I love this blue. So there we go. Card number 2, super easy to make. Again, the two-tone cardstock is so fantastic. This is the embossed side. I can see that this is embossed and this is debossed. So really good stuff on that one. All right, card number 2 is done. And Janice likes the green. Oh my gosh, Flo, you like the blue better? I know, right? It's just awesome. I love to play. I love to play. So I'm glad that you guys encourage me to play. Thank you. Now, speaking of colors that I never ever use, how about some Coastal Cabana? Do you guys all have colors that you're like, I never use this color? Coastal Cabana is a color that I barely ever use. Like barely ever use. This is Coastal Cabana right here. Right here, Coastal Cabana. This one is Pool Party. Two-tone Pool Party, but Pool Party, right? So I have these beautiful colors right here. And I have this beautiful wild print of paper. This is from Mixed Media. DSP is an online exclusive. And if you're not really loving this one, flip it over because you can go super neutral with this card base. Check this out already, like, right? Very generic. You've got some little white pieces here. You could add maybe a couple of things on here. You've got some ribbon and ta-da, like super easy card, right? You're like looking at this. I'm hoping right now you're looking at this and going, what has this got to do with Scenic Adventure. How in the heck are you using this on this card? That's what I want you all to be saying to me right now. First of all, let's talk about the way this card opens. This is a hot dog cut that's going to open like this. So it's not going to open in the tent position. It's going to be a sideways card. But I haven't done one of these in so long, and every time I see one, I'm always like, oh my gosh, it is so cute. So when it sits up, it sits like this. Super cute, right? And before we put anything down, I just want to show you the card because I adore this one. Flo says I barely use Coastal Cabana. She can't believe it. Blue seems brighter. Julie likes the blue. And Jan, okay, I'm looking. Everyone likes different colors. Okay, check it. All right, we're gonna leave the greens and blues behind, and we're gonna blend the greens and blues together in this lovely Coastal Cabana beauty. Look at this. How cute is this? Just breathe and take it slow. I adore this card. I made a huge mistake making it. Like I did something and I went, oh, I ruined it completely, and then I fixed it. And I'm going to share with you my secret because it's really cool. Check out the little bling on here. This is from the Turtle bundle, like the Turtly Awesome, the little gems, which works super well anytime you've got a blue or green to use. But like, how cute is that? Now, I don't do the inside of my cards for my classes, but how cute is this one? I love this card. Like, I cannot tell you how much I love it. Now, we're kind of focusing on the flower die for this one. So these are little white flowers that I made here. And then we've got the sentiment, just breathe and take it slow, and all of the good stuff. So let's put this together. The first thing we're going to do is put our DSP on our white cardstock mat. Now, I am not flipping this over to this black and white version. I got to tell you right now, I love this print. It's just, I don't know, I'm not a bold print person, but for some reason, I really like the combination of the white and just the monotone colors with it. It calms it down and it makes it doable. So if you're a person that has a hard time with a lot of patterns, I feel like this, I'm a person, let me just say, I have a hard time with like heavy patterns. Like when I see cards where people use like 80 different patterns, just kidding. And I'm just like, whoa, my eyes are dizzy looking at your card. I don't know what to look at first. That's me. I like the B sides of paper. I like the calm sides of the paper, right? I like a pattern in a print, but it's gotta flow nicely, and I feel like I managed that really well with this one. So this is actually retired white ribbon because I couldn't find current white ribbon in my craft room. As noted earlier when I said I'm living in a mess, I have stuff everywhere, I can't find things, I am unorganized. So I just grabbed this retired white ribbon, and it's okay because it still works. It's beautiful ribbon. So you're going to cut your ribbon when you get it, and you're going to wrap around the back, just like this, before you put it on to your card base, keeping in mind, again, that your card's going to open like so. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Now, if you forget to wrap your ribbon, you have two choices. You can sneak your bone folder into the sides and pull it up a little bit and tuck your ribbon in. And that is exactly what I did on this one because I forgot to wrap it, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I grabbed out my bone folder, I snuck it into the sides, I tucked the ribbon in, and no one knows. Now that's not, wait a minute, that's not the secret of where I screwed up. In case you're like, oh, you screwed that up. Nope, I screwed up something way worse than that, but we'll get to that part. But anyway, first of all, how cute. I love it. I love this card. Love this card. This actually might be my favorite card in this kit, and that says a lot, right? Okay, let me set aside my tape, and we're going to continue with these items right here. So we've got party banners. Love the party banners. I have been using them all over the place. We're going to do something fun with these, and we're going to die cut our little flowers. Let's talk about our flowers. So you've got 2 pieces of white scrap. You're going to just put this on here. We're going to die cut one together because I have one. You're getting 2. I didn't want to have to do that twice. There's only 1 die for that. Let's bring in the grass. This is the grass die. You're going to see it right here. Now my idea was, hey, cool, I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to cut the grass. Maybe I should die cut. No, we'll do, okay, yeah, this is exactly what I did. I'm going to do it in the same order I did it earlier because, you know, it'd probably make more sense if I did something different, but You guys like hanging out with me, right? We're just going to have some fun here. All right, so here's my thoughts. Okay, this is cool. I'm going to die cut, and it's going to look just like this when I'm all done. It's going to be just like this. It's going to be super cool, and it'll be like indented on my beautiful pool party banner, and it's going to be awesome. So I put the die cut on here, and then I put one for my flowers, and we're going to die cut it. And then you're going to see what happened that I thought, oh my gosh, I totally ruined this. Totally ruined this. That was my first thought. My exact first thought when I opened this up, expecting not this. I did not expect this. I looked at this because it came in 2 pieces and I went, oh, I've ruined it. It's awful. I just broke my banner. But then I thought, you know what? We're going to work with that. We're going to do something different. Okay, so while we have these out, I'm going to show you how we're going to fix our flowers as well, because the flowers don't necessarily pop out completely. I have another one off to the side. So you would die cut that twice. This one I've already kind of trimmed up a little bit, although I can see the end here needs a little work. So you're just going to kind of open these up a little bit so they come off the top quite easily, but then you're going to convince the edges here that there should be an end and they should come off just like this. So you're getting 2 sets of flowers, and we're going to layer them across our banner. So just go ahead and trim them up. Look at how cute they are, right? Depending on how high you put them, you're going to have more height here. I'm just like not really happy with. My first one is super skinny, so I'm going to just like trim this one down. I'm okay with that. Okay, so there we go. And you could trim them a little bit more if you wanted to before you pop them together. You can decide like, wow, maybe it looks better if I go this way, which I think it does. There we go. So, oh my gosh, you see this? This is my ribbon scissors. I'm not supposed to cut paper with those. Let me set that aside. Sigh. Okay. Moving on, we are working on this card right here. So the little flowers are going to come here. You can see how I broke my banner, but I made it work. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to do our sentiment. So we're going to do some heat embossing because I wanted to make it pretty and white. This is a light enough color that if you wanted to just go ahead and stamp directly without heat embossing, you could use Coastal Cabana. You could use Pretty Peacock. You could use Secret Sea. You could, whatever color you wanted to, just like if you only wanted to stamp and not do the whole heat embossing. Here's my Just Breathe and Take It Slow. So I've got the Emboss Buddy on there. Now when you die cut your grass, just make sure you're leaving room at the top here for a sentiment if that's what you wanted to do. So the versa mark's on there. We're going to powder this baby up and make sure wherever my finger was, it's going to hold all that embossing powder. All right, there we go. We are going to go ahead and heat this one up. Let me get my heat tool going here for a second and find my tweezers. There we go. The flowers are blowing around over here. Okay, there we go. We all took a nice breath. There we go. Now, I think I saw somebody saying, Lynn, I love the colors in the third card. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Julie says it's a bit busy. I totally get it, Julie. I completely understand. Hey, I wanted to say that also, if you do these on white, you can color these. You could color the leaves and the stems green with your markers or your blends, and you could color the flowers different colors too. So you could actually color these. I left them white because I wanted more white on here so it wouldn't be too busy. But you can see here, this is where we're going with this. We just need to do a little inking, of course, right? So this is our ink. We're going to bring in, for this card, I forgot to mention, we're using Pool Party and Coastal Cabana. So let's start with the Pool Party. And I have a combination of blends and I have a combination of daubers. But since I'm going to do kind of a heavier ink on the grass part, I started with the blending brush because I think you can get more ink on here. And then I kind of went around the edges a little bit here too. Okay, so there's that piece. And then for this one, I actually did bring in my dauber because I wanted to be a little bit more specific. Now, because we've heat embossed it, it is where it's raised and white, it will resist the ink, but you might have to, if you get ink on it, you might have to wipe it off. But it will come off. It won't stain your, it shouldn't, I should say, shouldn't stain permanently, like, right? You should be able to wipe off and see the white. That was annoying. Holy cow. Okay, there we go. There is our Just Breathe and Take It Slow. And this is a little bit broken, and I feel like this is the perfect thing for a card that says Just Breathe and Take It Slow, because you're probably going to be sending this to someone who may be feeling a little broken. So I feel like breaking it was the best accident that could have happened to me. I am like so excited that that happened. It was unexpected, but after I went, oh, let me fix it, I was so happy that it worked. So there we go. We're going to come in with Coastal Cabana now, kind of do the same thing. We're going to just bring our other banner in here. Now this banner, the bigger one, the Coastal Cabana, is just regular cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker. And I wanted to do it that way so that you would have a thicker base to put all of these other elements on. And just like that, we are pretty much done with this card. We are on to final assembly, and we're going to glue on our Just Breathe, and we're going to glue on our flowers. And it's going to be so pretty. I just think this is a really pretty card. I hope you guys are loving this one too. So Coastal Cabana. Now I love Pool Party. I use Pool Party a lot. For whatever reason, Coastal Cabana is just a little bit like, I don't know. I don't reach for it as often, and I probably should, right? So there we go. We are putting this on here, and I'm leaving it separated just a little bit. I feel like I could put a little bit more adhesive right in here, maybe right there. That piece didn't want to stick down, and I love it. It's like a puzzle piece now, so really super gorgeous. Now we're going to bring in our flowers. Same situation that we've been dealing with throughout the class today. There is a lot of like little holes and slits in these, so just be careful, you know, not too much glue. We're going to put down one. If you wanted to trim them so that they fit like perfectly together, you could do that. I went ahead and just overlapped, especially because I have like kind of a lower flower there. So I overlapped a little bit. In nature, I feel like flowers are overlapping as well. I'm going to push this from the back for just a second. And there we go. Look at how cute that is. Again, if you wanted to color those, you could. If you want extra glue on there, those are all options. I'm going to come back later and kind of scrape some of that off. But let's bring in some dimensionals. We're going to pop this on the card, add a bow, add our bling, and call it gorgeous. Like, let's call this a gorgeous card. All right, we're going to do like 6 on this one. See, I'm already slowing down on the dimensionals. I've been working away on that little packet of new dimensionals, and now I've used a few. I'm like, wait a minute. Let's just take it easy here. Don't want to reach for another pack right now. All right, so this is going to come on here, and I've put this on here so that it's covering the edge of the designer series paper and kind of giving you that white frame on the upper section and the left section, just like that. You could probably do it straighter than that even. I feel like that's a little bit crooked. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can't just adjust this slightly. This one's just all going sideways on me. We're just going to go with it. Okay, after this, we are going on to card number 4. So I don't want to take all the time to like correct this card. I have made this pretty much the exact same way as my first one. So with your remaining ribbon, you should be able to make a nice little bow, depending on at what point you start your little ends. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, let's reach for the ribbon scissors this time, the official ribbon scissors. Trim the edges. I'm going to put this on here with a little bit of tear and tape, and reaching for that. A little bit of bling. I love the bling that is on this card. This is, again, from the Turtly Awesome suite of products. And it's just so funny to me that when I first saw that, I was like, oh no, it's for turtle cards. It's for, you know, why would I use it for anything else? And now I find that I will definitely use it for other things because it goes with all the blues and the greens, and it's shiny and pretty. Let me grab that. Let me put my tape over here. Let me grab that and show you the selection of colors. So I use the darkest ones on here. I feel like the lighter ones won't show up as nicely, so I think I'm going to stick with the darker ones as well. I love that you can pull these off of the... Once upon a time, Stampin' Up! Had tape on these, and they were like stuck to this white paper that you get with your bling. But now it's like they're free, and you can just like move them around. And sometimes I shop them that way, like shop my... Where am I going to put them, right? So I do that too. But anyway, this is just a really... a great little packet of embellishments in case you're looking for something to add to your cart to get to that $50 ordering special deal with the raffle ticket and all. So there we go. Pretty bling, pretty card. Hopefully not too busy. I feel like it's definitely a better choice pattern than the black and white. So card number 3, just like that. All right. Let's see. Michelle says card number 3 is interesting. Favorite card. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. You guys are loving card number 3. Oh, that's so sweet to hear. Thank you. I feel like so like, wow, you guys like the card. That's great. All right, card number 4. We're on to the last card. Again, these are all very die heavy kinds of cards. You're going to see some fancy golds going on here. So a little bit more regal and interesting. We're doing a very vanilla base for this card. We've got Night of Navy, and we've got some of this really gorgeous DSP that is called Season of Elegance. I had to look that up really quick. Season of Elegance has the gold. It's a specialty paper, has it in there. But if you didn't want the gold, maybe you wanted to, like, you know, kind of keep it muted, you could do that too. This is going to be a more neutral, but I am giving you some brushed gold metallic. Again, some navy. So we got these things going on. You're getting some stitch circles. This is vanilla. This is from Stylish Shapes. This is the largest circle, and then a navy, Night of Navy as well. And then check out this cute little banner right here, Night of Navy, and then some white. And then this is your card kit for card number 4. So we're going to bring it in here, and thanks, Flo, you're awesome. And this is card number 4, a little bit more blingy, celebratory, perhaps New Year's Eve-ish, right? Not quite Christmassy, although I was trying to sneak something Christmassy in. Like, I'm so ready to do Christmas. But these are the pine tree dies. We're going to check out how we're going to use this little star and moon on this one as well. And then, it's hard to see, but there are some gold trees behind here. So this is card number 4, and we are going to be doing all of the things together, just like we have on the first cards. So we are in charge of trees, and and this circle comes to you, but it doesn't come to you with the little moon and stars in it. So if you have this bundle or getting this bundle, you're going to be actually adding in the moon and star feature right here. How cool is that? Like right behind there, little moon. It's on the vanilla, but it's cool. All right, let's do some die cutting so we can get this card finished up, and then we'll take a look at all of the cards and see how they all look together. All right, so we're bringing in some of these things. We've got the circle here. Let me see. I've got to just set my moon up properly. We're going to hang the moon in the circle. That makes sense. And let's see. It is 9 o'clock. I'm just letting you guys know. 9 o'clock, 9:05 maybe here on the East Coast. And I hear the UPS man in my driveway. It is dark here, by the way. It's dark here by 8 o'clock. And I can hear him parking his car. He's bringing me some packages. And I think I did my team meeting recently. We're going to take the gold and we're going to put the trees on here too. I did a team meeting, and while I was on the team meeting, I think it was last week, time has gotten away from me. Same situation, and I'm like, oh, the UPS guy is here. He's got some Stampin' Up! Packages for me. And one of my team members was like, well, go get it and open the box. And I didn't, but true story. But here I sit in my craft room. I can hear the man. He is here. It's exciting. I love getting boxes of Stampin' Up! Okay, so here are the gold trees. So very similar to card number 2 that we did. Check that out. How cool is that? Now you could probably use this on something too. Like you could double duty these. This almost looks like some of these look like they could be trees, right? But this is the actual tree row that we want. And then we've got this really cool, so the little stars are in here, kind of poked through, and there's our little moon, right? So there's that. And then we have our trees here in white. This one's right here. I'm going to have to bounce my die here to get that out. And we are going to check out this card. This is our last card for the night. So let's put this one together so you can see. how we're going to go with this one. There she is. Okay, we've got them all die cut. We did it. Wasn't awful. All right, Very Vanilla. Once upon a time, Very Vanilla came in thick, much like thick white. Does anyone remember thick Very Vanilla? I miss, as I'm playing with this, I have not made a vanilla card in a long time. As I'm playing with it, I'm like, wow, I really miss the thick Very Vanilla as a card base, because I feel like this is really thin for a card base, and I don't know why. It feels thinner than, it feels thin to me. I don't know why it feels so thin. Maybe because I'm used to the thick white. When I use a white card base, I do use thick white card stock. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just, my brain is all over the place right now. All I can think of is that there's a box of Stampin' Up on my doorstep. Okay, so here is our beautiful designer series paper. We've got the gold in here. So we've got some really great wintertime colors. I know we haven't even gotten into fall yet, but we can, we can work on it. We're going to do a little bit of enhancing with our Night of Navy here. So let me set aside a couple things and find my scrap paper. We've got our 2 pieces of Night of Navy, and we're going to bring in the blending brush, and we're going to deepen this down. Now I'm going to deepen down just the top of this strip of Night of Navy cardstock, only the top, and I'll show you why. So hopefully you can see, after I pick it back up again, dark at the top, a little bit lighter kind of toward the bottom, what have you. And then once we put this on here, it's like those, it's just like it's lighter here and it's a little bit darker at the top. I don't know if you can see it or not. We're going to pretty much put this on our card, and it's going to get buried, as much of my card items do, because I like to do layers and stuff, but you can ooh and ah over that for a minute. And if you choose not to put lots of things on your card, I send you all these pieces in your kits. You could probably make 2 more cards with everything you've got and just have more minimal items, right? Same thing with this circle right here. I'm leaving a little bit of lighter area here. And we're going to just go ahead and put that together just like that. And it's going to be gorgeous. Oh, I love this. So pretty. Okay, let's continue on here with, we'll start with this actually. We're going to glue this beautiful, beautiful, almost Christmassy, right? This gold and navy. How gorgeous. Like, you could make a Christmas card with this. Just letting you know, in case you're like, yep, this is like all season. And then it's going to come on here, and maybe all you need right now is a sentiment that says Merry Christmas. Maybe a little ribbon, and you're good to go. Before we put this on though, let's discuss the ribbon. This should wrap on here, much like my other one. I was in a wrapping mood today when I made these cards, because I'm using kind of the same ideas and techniques more than once. But I do like to wrap ribbon, and it's an easy way, again, so easy, wrong thing upside down. It's an easier way to use ribbon. If you're like not friendly with bows, you can wrap it. You can put a little knot on it. Let's see if my tape will continue to play nicely. Okay, a little bit of tape run around there. I'm just going to squeak this onto the bottom of this and wrap it around the back. And just, be sparing with how much you're wrapping, because you need the rest of it to make a bow or a knot. You could make a knot if you wanted to too. It just adds that really, beautiful texture and the glitz and glam, because this is a really fancy ribbon too, right? So we're going to put this onto our card base now that it's all wrapped in beautiful gold ribbon. And you can choose how high or low you want to go with that one. I'm going to kind of middle of the road here with it. Look how pretty. I mean, really, you could probably just put a bow on here and call it good. We've got lots of bow left over. I say that, and then let's see if I can actually make a bow with it. Okay, we're getting there. Oh yeah, that's pretty. So here we go. This could be a beautiful Christmas card. This could be something else completely, right? But I like to just keep going. So we're going to do that. We're going to put this Night of Navy circle. Remember, don't put the glue through the moon, right? That's not going to work for you. And then we're going to put this circle together. Stylish Shapes, another die set that I use all the time. And here is our beautiful little, you can see the moon and stars a little bit nicer there. We're going to go ahead and glue the white trees down next. Now, why did I do white trees? You may be like, why? There's no white on this card other than the trees. And I wanted the trees to just kind of really pop and be fancy. So I'm just going to put that one so, and then I'm going to just a little bit of adhesive on the teeny tiny one, and I'm just adding this on top. So it's just kind of like trees on trees right now. So you can see the 3 little tree trunks right there. And then this is going to come on here with dimensionals. So let's grab those dimensionals out and pop some here. This is a fancy card after all. We got to do some dimensionalizing to make it extra beautiful. Okay, so this goes on here, and we're going to make sure the moon is facing in the proper position, just like so. Oh, my bow can go like right here. Look at that. Super pretty. Now, if you're like, oh my gosh, it's covering up everything beautiful on this card, then you could move your bow over. Absolutely. Your bow could go somewhere else. You could make a smaller bow. You could omit the bow. Actually, I'm going to put the bow over here this time. But we still have to do cheers. Like we're cheering here. We're not done yet. I'm going to mask my sentiment and heat emboss in gold for the little cheers. And we are going to need to sponge the edges of that too, I think. But meanwhile, I'm just like, let me put that over here and then we can see the trees a little bit more, right? So like, there we go. It's already looking so much nicer. All right, this is our sentiment piece right here. Don't miss this in your card kit. It is tiny. Absolutely. And you may be wondering, wait, where was the cheers again in this stamp set? It says, cheers to another. We use this on a card already. We did use it. I got to find it. That one says, can't wait to see you again. Where is cheers? I moved things around. Okay, here it is. It's a little dirty. You're going to need a quick wipe. I use this with pecan pie. So this was on card number 2. Okay, now that it's clean, we're going to get it dirty again, but we're going to do a different kind of dirty. Let me just make sure I got that off of there. Okay, so masking. We're going to just mask this sentiment because all I want is the word cheers. So make sure you mask the right part and that you have cheers. Okay, we're going to do gold embossing powder this time. Let me bring in the gold embossing powder. It goes with our theme, right? Like our grand, beautiful, our grand finale theme here. Let's see if I can find my emboss buddy right here. This is so tiny. And we're going to go ahead, now that we've got this all masked, we're going to go ahead and ink this up in our Versamark. And then before you stamp it, that's when you take this off. So make sure you take that off. That's like a really important step. And we're going to center the word cheers on our banner. And add on our gold powder. Okay, I think I got that on there. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have extra gold powder on there. Okay, now, oh my gosh, before we do anything else, let me cover up my Versamark and embossing powder. I found that it's best to not turn on your heat tool and blow air everywhere if your embossing powder is open, because otherwise you have a mess. Okay, here we go. We're going to heat this one up. Cheers will be done so quickly. There it is. It's beautiful. All right, now we're going to just bring in a little bit of Night of Navy. I've got my sponge dauber here. We're going to add that on, and we're going to add on our bling. Actually, let's do the bling while we're waiting for this to cool down a little bit. I found that I grabbed my cheers right after I heat embossed it, and I kind of smudged the heat. The powder was kind of still hot, and I kind of put my thumbprint in a little bit. I was like, whoa, okay, noted. So we're going to just add some of these. I love these opals. These opals. You could use the gold here as well, or the white. Any of those colors would work beautifully. I did want to kind of keep the blue theme going here. So this kind of is our fancy grand finale card of the class. But as soon as I put this onto the card, I'm going to pull in all of the cards that we made in case you tuned in late and you're wondering, like, what else did we do? This was the Scenic Adventure Bundle. Hopefully this class has been an amazing class, and these cards are something completely different from any other cards you're checking out online, because I do like to try different things and really experiment with products beyond what you would think you could do with them, right? Like, I like to try different things out, and I like to share those ideas. Sometimes they're great ideas, and sometimes maybe not so much. I've had some of those too, but it's just fun. Regardless, we're having a good time, right? All right, cheers. Cheers to you guys. So there we go. I moved the ribbon on the card that I just made live with you. I think it was a good call, but I'm not entirely certain. I always ask for your opinions because I value your opinions. Like, you guys are telling me like, no, that doesn't look good at all, or oh yeah, that looks better. And then that helps me as well. Like, you guys are helpful to me. I hope I'm helping you when you're helping me. So there's card number 4. Now this is the tricky part. This is the tricky part because I'm going to bring in all the cards and I'm going to be like, wait, which one did you like best? There's card number 3. Card number 2. We did like a little flip around here. We've got the green and the blue on there. And then the first card, I don't think I changed it up at all, so it's kind of the same. There we go. Look at all these cards. Aren't they beautiful together? So this is your class of the week. This is featuring the Scenic Adventure Bundle. So we did mostly die cutting. At the very beginning of the class, I did share how you can stamp some of these images and to create scenes, right? Scenes on your cards with your trees, your clouds, your water, even the flowers. So there's a lot of stamping that you can do as well. I did focus heavily on the dies for this class, but there's your cards. I would love to know which of these is your favorite. Which card do you love the best? Because that's always my favorite part too, is to see when I share all the cards with you. I love to know what you guys are loving. So I'm looking at the image of the cards. Like, I know you guys are looking at me now, but I'm still looking at the image of the cards. And I still think I like card number 3. Like, I'm going to go with the flower card, the Coastal Cabana. Not my favorite color to work with. Not my, Jess says the Coastal Cabana is her favorite. That is so awesome. All right, Flo likes card number 4. You guys are so sweet. Thank you for sharing all of your comments. If you're watching replay and you've watched all the way to the end and you're still hanging out for a minute, let me know what card is your favorite too. If you have any questions on the class, please ask them. I definitely will go back through and read all of your comments. And hi to all my friends on YouTube checking me out over there. I'm reading some of your comments right now. So Coastal Cabana is really, it's kind of a favorite card. It's funny because that's the floral card and the rest of them always have the trees in them because it's Scenic Adventure is really about the pine trees and nature, and you can't go wrong there either. So I appreciate your time today hanging out with me. You guys are the best. I will have that extra bonus card recipe for you on Thursday's newsletter. So make sure you're opening that up, save it, print it, do all the things. When you order with me this week, you'll get the card recipes for the 4 cards that I just shared. You'll get the measurements. You'll get all of that so you can continue to recreate. Corey loves it. Oh, number 4, she says. That's awesome. You guys are liking Pat. Thank you. The last one. I really, really wanted to make that a Christmas card. I had thoughts of Cherry Cobbler. And then I was like, well, no, maybe it's too soon. I'll go Night of Navy. And that way it could be like more not quite as Christmassy. I'm ready to jump in though. Christmas is coming in the crafting world. Christmas is coming, so I'm excited. Thank you guys for your comments. I really look forward to checking them out. You guys are the best. All right, don't forget this class runs through the end of the week. Friday is your last day to order for this class. If you'd like to get it, you're getting your raffle tickets for my grand prize drawing. That's open to everybody, so don't be shy. Put in those orders, check it out, and then maybe next Monday night I'll be putting your name into the raffle basket for that grand prize, which is coming up in a couple weeks. I will be shipping catalogs soon for the fall catalog. I know you guys are all excited. I have a big bingo and card event on Saturday. So I've got a busy week here ahead, but I do love to take time to post some things on Facebook, pictures of the cards, send you some emails about the different items, and just have fun hanging out with you. It's been really great to see you guys. Thanks again. Have a great week, everybody. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye, my friends.